With a new career, 90-Day Fiancé star David Toborowski may be heading back toward financial difficulties. When David, a 56-year-old Kentucky man, first appeared on 90-Day Fiancé in Season 5, he revealed his relationship with Annie Suwon, a considerably younger Thai lady. After divorcing his wife of 21 years, David lost both his job and his house. He also had 3 adult children. David had a stroke, so his health wasn't great either, and his poverty didn't seem to be ending. Nevertheless, David went up to the 24-year-old Annie at a bar and made her a proposal in less than a week. After having a difficult time getting married, David and Annie relocated to the United States. They had to wait a long time to be able to live blissfully. The couple had no intention of becoming parents. Although they discussed how Annie's PCOS and David's vasectomy were preventing them from becoming pregnant, in retrospect, it's possible that their financial constraints played a role. Is that why, following their announcement that they would finally be having a child together, David is searching for new sources of income? In May 2024, David made a surprise post revealing his new job. He disclosed that he was now a realtor by sharing a photo of his business card. David announced to his fans with excitement that he was now an Arizona licensed realtor. He tagged Fielder's Choice Realty, the company he works for. David expressed his gratitude to his wife for her support during his career change. When someone asked David how they would find his listings, he replied that they should DM or call him. David also included his phone number and email address in the photo. Though fans have seen David attempt to sell his property to co-stars Jenny Slatten and Sumit Singh, who were nearly persuaded to move to Thailand due to David's skillful salesmanship, he hasn't exactly built a second page for his company. The same condo is currently being offered by David to his Instagram family. Fans seem interested in purchasing the 2.1 million Thai baht property based on comments he has made publicly available on Instagram, where he has listed his personal listing. Its proximity to Jomtien Beach, just 600 meters away, is its selling point. David hinted in this post that he might be having financial difficulties as he waits for Annie to give birth to his child. When J. Mads asked, "Why are you selling? The baby?" David said, "We want to get a larger place." David did not say if he was trying to get a bigger apartment in Thailand itself or the US, but it's probable he wants to move into a new home with Annie now that the baby is due. David even bought a larger car for Annie as a push present. David has been dubbed a deadbeat father in the past. David worked as an English teacher when they moved to Louisville after marriage. Coming back to the US had been very stressful for David. He hadn't thought about how difficult it would be to even find a job. His friend Chris had invited David to go reside in the manager's apartment at a storage facility. Annie had seen how the home didn't even have a cooking room, given cooking is one of Annie's loves. David convinced her that it wasn't much and wasn't everything they needed, but they should have been glad they had a roof over their heads. "I should not come here," Annie had murmured to David. She had began regretting moving to America. Living in a storage unit is not what Annie had expected. She stated she wanted to die. The couple's primary funders, Chris and his wife Nikki, may not have won Annie over. Everything had been paid for, even the cost of their visas and aircraft tickets. At first, Annie and David shared Chris and Nikki's home. The couple asked Annie to assist with household chores like cooking, but when Chris asked Annie to give him Thai massages while he lounged by the pool, things took a bad turn. Annie and David had moved out of the appalling storage unit by June 2019, but they still hadn't found a permanent place to live. The pair had been sleeping on couches in different families. Fortunately, Annie and David moved into their own apartment in Scottsdale, Arizona, in September 2019. According to InTouch, David even secured a new position where he was on contract with a business that operates in Asia. They stayed in Arizona due to the weather, even though they had pondered going to Thailand. According to an InTouch article from May 2022, David and Annie had bought a $550,000 house in Fountain Hills, Arizona. The two-story, 2,000 219 square foot townhouse contains 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a 2-car garage, a fireplace, and a jacuzzi bathtub. The ceilings are 20 feet high. Even though it looks like the house will be big enough to fit their new family member, it will be intriguing to see what David has planned for the future. David has just made some very wise financial decisions, so anything he does will undoubtedly help Annie and the baby. David has experienced some difficult moments in the past. It was like meeting Lady Luck when I met Annie. His life took a positive turn and became better. Even convincing Annie to wed him wasn't simple, though. David had no idea how much marrying a Thai woman would end up costing him, and time was of the essence. 11 baht, or $6,800 at the time, was the requisite amount of gold in the dowry. But Annie's family had demanded a $15,000 dowry, which included 2 water buffalo. David had reached his lowest point following his divorce and job loss. He was eventually able to use a portion of his teaching salary to give Annie's family between $23,000 and $25,000. David has experienced difficult times and understands what it's like to be insecure about his finances. Annie had the option to reject David, who was brought low by financial concerns, but she opted to wed him. If David does end up going bankrupt once more, he doesn't want to take the chance of losing Annie. After investing money in their new home, going on numerous trips to Thailand, taking trips around the globe, and deciding to have IVF, which is an expensive treatment in and of itself, they have already been enjoying a rich lifestyle. David must be feeling the squeeze, even though he might decide not to discuss it. Many celebrities from 90 Day Fiancé have real estate careers. Realtors Big Ed Brown, Pedro Jimeno, Andre Castrovet, Bilal Haziz, Kara Roger, and David have now joined the ever-expanding group. David has been leveraging his big social media following to expand his business. Being a fan favorite gives him an advantage, and viewers looking to buy or sell their houses will surely approach him. He is no longer impoverished. David will show his doubters that he can succeed in anything he tries as he prepares to receive his 4th child in a little while.